What's up guys, welcome back to Fancy Goldfish Fanatics. Today we're going to be speaking all about the Cowl Ranchu, so make sure you stay tuned to find out more. Hey Fanatics family, welcome back. As always, check out all of those links in the description. Make sure to grab yourself a t-shirt from our new updated website and make sure to check out our sponsors Star Fisheries and Jimmy Goldfish. Without further ado, I'm going to get straight into this video. I'm hoping it's going to be quite a long, in-depth talk about the Cowl Ranchu. There is really not many videos at all available on YouTube and the internet about this breed. It is quite a new breed. It's only been around for the past 2, 3, maybe 4 years, so it is really new. And if you actually search Cowl Ranchu into Google, you will really struggle to find good examples of this breed, as it is quite a secret kept fish. The high quality fish are really collected by super high quality owners, and they aren't shared that much on the global internet really. So I thought I'd try and get some pictures, pull some pictures from different areas, get them up on the screen for you, talk to you all about the Calico Ranchu, how it goes to the water ink, the Cowl Ranchu, the Cowl style Ranchu, etc, etc. So I'm going to get loads of pictures up on the screen for you today. We're going to talk you through it and explain more about this. So first of all, the Cowl Ranchu actually originated from China, from Pan Shi, which is a really famous breeder for Chinese Ranchu, especially for the Cowl Ranchu. He is the one who basically produced them himself and started the bloodline. So first of all, you would have had to get a Cowl Ranchu from a Calico Ranchu. Now if I put this up on the screen here, you can see this fish right here, and this is actually a Calico Ranchu. So you'll notice that this fish has a few different colours on it. It has the black speckling, it also has the orange underbelly, and if you notice the base of this fish, so if you moved all of those colours, the base of this fish is a sort of grey blue kind, and that is a Calico base. The Calico base is always that greyish bluish. It is not a white base at all. And if you'll notice, this definitely isn't a Cowl Ranchu because it has lots of predominant orange all over the body. The wen is very cluttered, full of different colour as well. And then the black speckling isn't a solid deep black, or sumi, known as in Japanese for black. And it isn't a deep water ink black. The black is speckled all over the back. So this is definitely a calico fish. A nice fish overall, but it is not a cow. So next up, we're going to move on to the next fish. So this one as well is another type of calico. Now this one has a little bit more red in it. The orange is that slightly deeper red, but it's still not a cow. Now you'll notice the base on this one as well is that greyish blue, which is the calico base colour, and it doesn't have any pure white in it. The black speckling isn't as much on this fish, and we're slightly moving towards a slightly higher quality fish in shape, colour, strength really. So next up, you'll see this fish has a really white wen and a white-ish base colour. However, this is still not a Cowl Ranchu. Many people mistake these for Cowl Ranchu, and I see it on a lot of the groups where people think they've paid top dollar for a cow, but really they've actually purchased a water ink Ranchu. Now a water ink Ranchu is basically a calico that has had all of the other colours removed. So any oranges, reds, any yellowish colour has all been removed from the fish. And generally you'll find on water ink they will have ginrin on them, which means like the sparkly scales, the shiny glittery kind of scales, and you will find that quite commonly on the water ink Ranchu. And you'll notice this one, the base isn't very white, it's got that sort of grey bluish hue to it. The black is starting to clump together, so we're getting larger bands, larger islands of black placed on the fish, and that is slightly moving away from the calico, which has more speckled black spots. So the water ink generally aims to have tighter black bands and black islands on the fish dotted around, but it still doesn't have that white nacreous base, and the base is actually a bluish hue color. So next up, we're going to move on to this Ranchu here. Now this Ranchu is definitely the highest quality fish we've seen. Really good wen shape, good body shape, nice structure to it. This is still a water ink Ranchu. This doesn't have the strong black bars, the black bands on it. However, it does have a really nice white-ish base. You can see the blue on the back of the fish is really popping through. And generally, if you were looking at the koi industry, this fish would be known as a shiro utsuri, which means black and white fish. And that black on the back would come through and strengthen as the fish gets older and develops on a good bloodline. So this black, this bluish might come through on this Ranchu. It might strengthen up and create quite a nice pattern and colour development along the back, but we're still in the water ink Ranchu territory with that bluish base, and the white isn't so clean, so to say. But this is a really nice water ink Ranchu, really good structure overall. So next up, this fish isn't quite the same quality as the fish previously, but you can really start to see on that side view shot that the black bands are really forming on this fish, and here under this lighting you can really see that blue navy base developing under the white skin of this Ranchu. So this water ink Ranchu is slowly getting towards the cowl, but the base colour is all wrong. The fish has quite a nice colour development, and you can really see the sumi, the black is really developing into nice inky spots on the back of this fish. And generally with good grooming, good quality of life, good water quality, the black will come through on this water ink Ranchu a lot more and should develop nicely over the back of this fish. Right, so now we've spoken about the water ink Ranchu, we've gone from the Calico to the water ink, so now we're going into the Cowl style Ranchu. So I'm going to put another picture up on the screen here, so now we are really getting into Cowl territory. So there are many different variations of the Cowl now, as it has been out for quite a few years, not many years, but still a few. The Cowl Ranchu has developed slightly, and there are many different lines coming from the original milk Cowl Ranchu. So here we've got an absolutely lovely fish, a classic Chinese Ranchu, really round, compact body, lovely wen shape, really good structure and a mini tail as well. One of my favourite styles of Ranchu. However, I definitely don't keep these. I've spoken about previously why, just due to the nature of the fish. But this is really starting to get into a nice cowl fish. You can see the base on this fish is a white nacreous base, which means that there is no underlying blue, no underlying black, and the base is a solid white colour. It is not like a panda or a panda oranda or panda Ranchu that potentially will lose its black and change and morph as it gets older. The structure and the quality of this fish is fairly stable, and that white base should stay throughout its life. So you can see there is some black on the back of this fish as well, but this black is quite small spotting, similar to the Calico Ranchu. So we haven't got into full milk cow territory, but we are definitely in the cow territory. So we are borderlining that now. And this fish is an absolutely great quality fish. You can also see it's got a little bit of orange on the back. So I wouldn't class this as a milk cow Ranchu, but I would definitely class this into the cow Ranchu territory or cow style Ranchu. And this has definitely come off one of those near original bloodlines. It's not quite pure enough to call a milk cow, but the orange is quite nice, and I quite like that tricolour effect that these Ranchu have. They aren't a typical tricolour. Generally a tricolour is more of a metallic. It's got metallic scales. It doesn't have a gin ring scales, which are the shiny sparkly scales, but a tricolour will have more often a metallic base colour and a metallic scale. However, this is a cow style Ranchu with that matte orange colour. So now we're going to move on to the next fish, and we're hopefully getting closer and closer to the cow Ranchu as the video progresses. So now we are onto a definite cow style bloodline, very similar to the previous fish. However, this one is more metallic. It's got some nice metallic levels into the skin quality. It has got a really nice shape. I really like this fish. This is definitely a Chinese fish as well. Really nice big wen shape. And it has also got quite a nice body structure to it. You can really now see that that sumi, that black colour, has started to create big blocks on the fish. And this is a typical trait of a cow Ranchu. We still have that orange present in there, but it is forming large blocks, similar to a Sankey or a Showa in terms of the koi terminology. but we are really getting close now to a milk cow ranchu. This is definitely a cow ranchu. Unfortunately, there is a fine line between cow and milk cow with this orange base and the reds that come on these fish. Although this is in a block shape and it is nice and deep, it is not sort of a faded colour that is coming up through the skin. It is very close on that line between milk cow and cow ranchu, but I would definitely say this is a lovely example of a cow ranchu because you can see that snowy white base, there is no underlying colour coming through, and the fish is very crisp, clean and solid, and a really good example from the cow bloodline. So now we are on to the next fish. This fish I would say is very debatable. I would personally say this fish hasn't come from a true cow line. And why would I say that? So when we look at this fish, technically it is a cow. It has a white base and it has a nice dark sumi along the back. Nice black along the back of this fish. No colour interruptions, no bluing of the colour base, no reds, no oranges, no other colours. However, when I look at this fish, it doesn't have the typical body structure of a cow. Now, potentially someone could have bred this from a cow line over a few generations, but generally the cow is so new that I think this has come from a different bloodline. Personally, I think this has come from a water ink or a calico bloodline, and it simply is lucky enough just not to have that blue base. It's lucky not to have that orange or those reds in it. And how can I tell this? Firstly, when I look at the tail of this fish has a really large tail. Generally, we find with the cows and milk cow fish, we find that the tail is a mini style new era tail, where the tail is a really small sort of love heart shape at the back of the fish, whereas this fish seems to have quite a larger tail that is a bit more splayed out, a bit more fanned out. Now there is potential this fish has come from the true Panshi cow bloodline, however I am slightly doubtful. The body is slightly elongated, the wen shape slightly smaller and more compact, so that I would say that this is just a lucky offspring from a calico or an ink style, water ink style ranchu. But nonetheless, it is a lovely fish, great quality colours. You can really see the black is nice and strong, nice and developed throughout the fish, and overall is a really lovely fish for your aquarium. So now we have got through all of the calicos, the water ink, the milk cow style ranchu, and finally we've got onto this technically cow ranchu. So now we are finally going to show you what a proper cow looks like, and really start to look at the qualities you can see and compare to all of those previous fish that I've shown in this video. So here we have two absolutely top-notch, stunning milk cow ranchu, and these are definitely milk cow ranchu. You can see the wen is lovely and clear. The wen is white, it is not too yellowish, it is not a lemon-headed ranchu. The black or the sumi is in large chunks, large bands across the back of the fish, really solid blocks. It is nice and deep. It is not slowly underlying, slowly coming up through the fish. It is fully developed from a very early age, unlike the water ink ranchu that changes and develops with age. The body is a nice white nacreous base, and you can really see the body structure on these fish and compare them to that previous fish that I thought was potentially from a different bloodline. The bodies are lovely and wide, they are really fat, really round, really compacted, and these are definitely a classic sign of a Chinese goldfish. Now I know personally these are a Chinese goldfish that have been imported from Pan in China, because these have come into a well-renowned wholesaler in Thailand to then be shipped off to the future customer. So I do know these are definitely authentic Pan cow bloodline fish. But with the Pan cow bloodline fish and the quality of fish you can see on the screen here, you need to pay a pretty penny for these fish. I would say personally, looking at these fish, a price bracket for these would be around 5,000 US dollars potentially, plus transshipping. So I would say a rough ballpark figure for you to have two fish or a pair of fish like this, you're probably looking around $6,000 in total, maybe slightly more in today's current market, but I would say 6,000 USD is a good price range to aim for these kind of fish, and you're paying for the quality, you're paying for the selection, the development of the bloodline. These fish are so rare, and these are so difficult to get. These are the pinnacle, I would say, of Ranchu, and an absolutely stunning fish. I'm just going to put on the last fish as well to show you the real quality of the sumi, the black, and the quality of the snow white skin that we also have in the Cowl Ranchus as well. And here we go. This is a slightly filtered picture, but you can really see the ink black sumi to the back of this fish, the snowy white color. The head is lovely and clean. I know it's not the best picture, it's quite cropped down, but these pictures are so hard to get hold of and so hard to find that you can't just Google these. You have to really search for them deep in the internet, because these fish are so rare and they're so collected and kept secret by the dealers and by the owners, because it is quite a secret world to these Cowl Ranchu. But this is a true proper milk cow. So in future, if you're buying a water ink or a calico fish, or if you're being sold a Cowl Ranchu, remember to look for the key attributes in your fish. Obviously, a lower quality Cowl Ranchu, you're going to pay less of a price, so you can't get the milk Cowl Ranchu that I've put on the screen here for a couple $100 or a few £100. You're really going to have to pay the top quality price if you want a proper Cowl Ranchu. But generally, for a generalistic cow or milk Cowl Ranchu, you don't really want to see too much orange or red on the fish, and if you do see that, you want to see that in large, fully developed clumps and bands. You want to make sure the black is in solid bands, solid blocks on the fish. You want to make sure that fish has a lovely white base. The head is as clean as possible. We don't really want to see any underlying sumi or any underlying reds, benny, or any yellows in the head. We want a nice clean head. We want nice clean fins. The caudal fin, so the fin at the back of the fish, can be black as well. That is not too much of an issue. But we want to see a really nice clean white base fish with nice black patterning stretched across it, with no bleed of colour, no colour moving into the other scales. So I really hope that video has been interesting, and I hope finally there is a good video on Cowl Ranchus on the internet. If you do have any questions, please leave them down below, and maybe some of you won't agree with my opinion, maybe you've got your own opinion, so feel free to drop that down below. I always like to hear other people's opinions, because after all, there is no one single way in this hobby, and we have lots of different paths we can all take. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. As always, remember to keep those water changes up, and happy fish keeping.